Hello. Hello, Pascal. Great to see you on the call. While I'm waiting for people to come on, I'm actually going to drop the link for the workbook in the chat just in case people didn't get a chance to open it up. Right on time, Pascal, which is amazing. I love it. I love it when people are on time. I think all the years that I spent teaching martial arts classes and, you know, being very disciplined around that, I've always had a strong conviction for being on time. I'm early usually for everything. So I always love it when other people are on time as well. Looks like we've got... I'm just going to unmute you so you can have a chat since how there's just the two of us. Maybe you need to unmute yourself. I think I've just... There we go. Yeah.
Hello. I didn't expect to be talking.
Yeah. If you haven't done a Zoom call before, yeah.
No, I do actually. I use Zoom as well. I just didn't expect. I thought that there would be like, a lot of people. So I was like, cool, I'm joining on time,
Yeah, there's not, I think I've got maybe 30 registered. So it's not a huge amount registered, and we'll just see how many turn up. But if we get 5 or 6, it's probably going to be pretty decent. I left it to the last minute to run ads, which is typical.
And for me, it's 10 p.m. I am in Dublin in Ireland.
Yeah, and you've got, what season have you got over there?
So right now it's winter, but it's just cold. We were expecting ice and icy roads and snow, but nothing yet. I mean, Paris is under the snow right now, but we're grand here. Like, we're okay for now. It's just cold, but yeah, it's winter. No, not like you. I can see it's summer in Melbourne or spring.
Summer. It's not very warm today. It's only low 20s today, but the humidity is still pretty high. So it's been a really mixed bag this summer. Some really, really hot phases, and then other times where it's really, really quiet. So, all right, I'm just going to double check that I've got everything that I need in place. Yeah. So tell me about your business, Pascal.
Well, I don't think that I'm ready yet about I haven't really launched it actually. I was thinking of launching my coaching business 2 years ago, and last year I got cut into a very different, got sidetracked by something very different. I'm doing stand-up comedy, and stand-up comedy took all my time. I discovered a new hobby, passion, but and I was still working in my normal, normal job, let's say. And so while for 2 weeks at the end of the year, I really put all my intentions. I was like, okay, now I know this year I want to really finish the website that I have started and things like that. So I'm a mind coach, life coach, and I'm trained as an NLP master practitioner. Yeah. So NLP would be like my main skills, and for me, it's really I want to help people to get out of the gutter. Usually, believing in themselves in terms of life, and believing that they can be more and they can do more, and that either you're stuck in a bad situation that you can go over it, or either you're stuck in a situation that you actually feel that it's okay, but actually life is more about, there is more about life and stepping up. So it's more like these two turning points in life that I like to help people. And that's I think that I can do things. But yeah, so now it's really launching it. This year was really my aim, was okay, for the 2 weeks, I really worked on myself a lot more on what I wanted to do this year, which was really okay, now I really want to go into the coaching business and get everything out and be more visible and do the work and do the things, and while continuing working on the stand-up and getting better, etc. And the first week I came back from at work, and I've been made redundant. So, you know, it's a sign of
it totally is. It totally is. Well, this is probably the perfect time for you to be on this call, because you have everything within you right now to be able to create the sort of packages that I'm talking about. And straight away, when you were speaking, I'm thinking, wow, how many people want to do stand-up? There are a lot of people that want to do it and they just would never do it. So there's even an opening there for you to even have a product that's going to coach people to do their first stand-up. You know, you could be coaching people around your greatest passion.
Yeah, but the thing though is that like I want to help people online, so I don't want to do one-on-one like physically. So you know, I've been following you a little bit for a little while. What I love is I really love your attitude and your character, because I feel that I'm a little bit like you on different things. You know, the fact that you do martial arts and that you're really into it. So, I mean, I did a lot of sport before, but I'm as well a skydiver. I drive a motorbike and I do stand-up comedy. So I have this kind of masculine energy, let's say,
yes.
You know, it's really like pushing further. And so it's somehow something that I really want to integrate in my coaching. And then I'm a very positive and bubbly person, etc. And then like as well, like, you know, very feminine as well. So it's this type of interesting balance that I always loved about myself, that people appreciate about me as well.
Yes.
And yeah, but yeah, I think that there is lots of things they can do, but like the one thing that I know is that I want to help people online, not
of course, yeah, everything that I'm talking about today will be related to online. It'll be related to online. Hey Carla, how are you?
Hey Carla.
All right, I'm going to get you to mute yourself, Pascal, and we're going to dive into it, because I know a lot of people are going to watch the replays. I don't think I've ever turned up live to a webinar. I think I always watch the replays.
Thank you for catching up with me while we were waiting for thanks.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, so I'm going to start to share my slides with you guys now. Where are we? Okie dokie. So I am hoping that you can see my screen now. Just let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to see them easily enough. All right, so today is all about you. What have I got? Chat. Cool. Yes. All right, so today is really, gosh, I've got all sorts of bells and whistles going off in front of me, about my 4-step strategy for selling your first $5,000 coaching package. And the reason that I'm doing this, this particular workshop at the moment is because I am knee deep in selling $5,000 packages. My clients are knee deep in selling $5,000 packages, and it just really works. You know, what I love about this program that I've been able to create, and this is the content that I'm sharing with you, is it pretty much enables any coach, no matter where you are right now, to be able to bring together, you know, package up to the information that they need in a way that really meets the market's demands and makes you feel so good about selling what you're selling, and also knowing that you're going to get the results for your clients. When you can get results for your clients repeatedly, you know, you will never have a problem being able to make money as a coach. If you can get results for your clients and you know that you can do that, and you get to do this a few times and you get to see that, oh wow, you know, when I work really closely with people, I can almost guarantee a result, just because you're working so closely with people. And that's what coaching is all about for me. You know, it's about definitely, you know, making money is great, and the travel and all that sort of stuff is amazing. But the thing that has always been so fulfilling for me is when my clients achieve the results that they're trying to achieve. When they achieve something that they didn't think was possible and they go on to, you know, exceed their own expectations. That's where it's at for me. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about me, because you can go and check out my website, go into my group, and you'll see, you know, there's a bit of information about me in there. But really, you know, take what you see on face value. You know, just try to feel your way into the content that I'm sharing with you. Does it resonate with you? Does it feel right? You know, am I full of shit, or do you believe that I know what I'm saying? Just really feel into and tap into your intuition about all of that sort of stuff without getting too woo-woo. But just know that I've been working with my clients for, you know, quite a few months now with this $5,000 package, helping them do this very same thing. One of my clients, you know, so far the most packages sold in a month is 4. So she went from, I think, earning around $3,000 or $4,000, you know, in previous months to $20,000 in that month. So, and she's about to do her second back-to-back 20K month. So this stuff works, and you don't need to be established. You don't need to be all the things that you're telling yourself and all of the procrastination that you've probably got going on, thinking, you know, I need to have all of these things in place before I can do this thing. I'm going to show you that you don't need to have any of that stuff in place. Where you are right now with the resources that you have in front of you right now, you are able to do this as well. I've worked with clients from many different industries, so personal trainers, life coaches, business coaches, martial arts school owners who are moving into the coaching space. You know, I tend to work with a number of people that are, hello, whoever that is, a number of people who have got really good at the skill that they have, and then they want to move into coaching. So that's another area of where I take my clients from as well. So in the example of Paul, one of my amazing clients, he's been very successful as a martial arts school owner and wants to move into the coaching space, and we're creating a program that is called Legacy, and it's about helping martial arts school owners go from just you know, picking up more students to actually creating a legacy-based business that generates a lot of recurring income. So the work that, you know, the coaches that come into my world are very, very varied. And you could tell me that, you know, it's not going to fit my business model, or I'm this different sort of coach, and I'm going to poo-poo that because, as I say, I've got coaches from all across the board, all different areas, and they all get great results if they apply this stuff. All right, so let's dive right in. So the first thing that I want to talk about is why I love the $5,000 coaching package model. First of all, when you go high ticket and position yourself as a premium coach, you get a better quality client. You know, I spent a lot of time working in high ticket, and then I moved out of that and I moved into low ticket. I just had, you know, a few issues with some clients and just went, you know what, this is all too hard. I'm going to try low ticket, sell on volume. But what I found is that while I was creating amazing content, it was going to waste because people weren't implementing the stuff. And so, you know, if I'm a coach and I'm addicted to clients getting results and feeling really excited about that side of things, then it makes no sense for me to continue to sell a product that I know is great, but people aren't implementing because they're not getting the results, and results are where it's at for me. So you will get a better quality client. If somebody's investing more, you know, they've been able to get themselves to a position where they're able to invest more, and they've just got a different mindset, you know. So the high ticket stuff just brings you a better quality client. It also means that you can get a better quality result for your client, because what it means is instead of charging lower prices and maybe you're doing one-off coaching at, I don't know, $150 a session or something like that, you know, you don't get the consistency. You don't get to work closely with the client. When you charge premium prices, you are all in with your clients. You give them a lot more than you would otherwise. And so what happens then is it's almost inevitable that they're going to get a great result because you're just there doing your thing, supporting them, encouraging them, all that sort of stuff. The other thing about a 5K package is we're offering a transformational result. We're not just saying, you know, come and do a 12-week coaching package with me, or a 6-week coaching package, or a 4-week coaching package with me, and let's just see what happens. It's like we are offering, in my model, we offer a specific result. So there's a specific outcome for these packages, and so it's very specific and purpose-driven, so everybody has laser focus. I do when I'm coaching my clients do. My 5K program is very short, and so that means they've got to really hustle. And what I love about that is if you try to do some big things in a small amount of time, you have the power of momentum behind you. This big wave of momentum picks you up and you just manage to get a lot of things done really, really quickly. So I love that. And with the $5,000 price point, almost anyone can afford it, or they can find a way to. It's not the same as somebody going away and having to find $20,000 for a coaching package or $10,000 for a coaching package. $5,000 is within reach for most people. That's not to say they have to pay it off up front. You might have a payment plan or something like that, but $5,000 is an amount that I found that most people, hey Nancy, most people can find or have, whether it's a credit card or they can apply for a credit card or something like that. Not that I'm all about, selling pie in the sky and having people go and get themselves into more debt. It's not about that. But it's a great price point. If you really believe in your product and you can help people and that the investment is worthwhile, then, you can help them to explore ways that they can find that $5,000. So the question that I want to ask you guys is, why do you want to become a high ticket coach? If you just want to pop that in the comments for me so I can, if you feel like sharing. But I want to know, why do you want to become a high ticket client coach? So for me, it's because, as I say, I'm addicted to the results that my clients get. And when they get results, there is just nothing like it. It feels so amazing. And I want that for everybody that I work with. And the impact that I have through working with people like this is really second to none. You can have low-end products and things like that, but there really is no substitute for working closely with a coach to help you achieve your stuff. Even if it's, in a small group, that is the same, not the same as working one-on-one, but if it's a really small group and it's intimate and everybody has the same purpose in mind and they're all driven by the same thing, sometimes the power of a small group is helpful as well. It's my belief that big programs now that have thousands of people or even 100 people signed up, it's just not the same. There's just too much room for people to step out and to not do the work and to quit on themselves, basically. So small group is fine, but a one-on-one coach is also, fantastic. There's no substitute for that as far as getting results. So I don't think I can see the... chat. Let's see if I can see the chat. Okay, so good. I have the chat box now. All right, so nobody's... Hey, Angela, how are you? It's so funny, 17 minutes into it and people are rocking up. It's almost the way it works. Anyway, great to have you here. All right, the chat box is open. So if, over the course of it, if you feel like you want to share, just let me know, why is it that you want to become a high ticket coach? As I say, for me, it's all about results. It's about the results that I get from my clients, but it also means that I have more time freedom because I charge more for my coaching packages and more for my small group programs these days. It means that I don't need to work with a lot of clients to make a really good living. And so for me, it's about freedom, time freedom, the financial freedom for sure, but also the results that I'm able to get from my clients. Alrighty, any questions, just feel free to pop them in the chat box anytime we go through. All right, so now I want to talk about positioning yourself as a high ticket coach. And really, coaches particularly like to overcomplicate things and overthink things. But what I want you to know is that positioning yourself as a high ticket coach is really as simple as making the decision to be a high ticket coach, to become that high ticket coach. And then the next thing is really just owning that decision with confidence. And so we all have this knowing about us. We have this knowing that, sometimes it looks like if they just gave me, if one client just gave me a chance and I could work with them in this way, I know that I could get them that result. Or, I know I'm good at this. Or, I know I've got a few things to sort out logistically, but I know that given half the chance, I would be really good at this. So lean into the knowing. Don't be freaked out by the price. I had a session with a client the other day, and we settled on because basically it's a $5,000 package that we create, my clients create. We don't create anything other than a $5,000 package. Some, you know, months into it, we talk about a downsell and an upsell and all that. We'll talk about that towards the end. So when I talk about where this 5K program fits into this grand scheme of things in your business. But essentially it's a $5,000 package. And so I need them to be 100% bulletproof about the price. And so as I was having a conversation with a client the other day, and they're just like, oh, you know, I just don't know if it's worth $5,000, which is normal. Everybody has this conversation. I'm like, okay, so is it worth $1,000? And they're like, yeah. Like, well, would you do it for $50? Yeah. And basically it was like, could you get a result for $50? If someone paid you $50, would you get them the result? Absolutely, 100%. Right. If they paid you $1,000, would you get them the result? Yes, absolutely, 100%. So what's the difference between $5,000? We know you can get them the result. That's not even questioned yet. Is that result worth $5,000 to your market? And if the answer is yes, then it's just you need to do some work on your money mindset stuff and just know that people have money, you know. And if you're in a position, I'm going to read that in a second, Nancy, that's awesome. If you're in a position, you know, where you're struggling financially, it's very easy to get caught up into thinking that everybody's in that position. And so you're making decisions based on your own feelings of lack. And so when you put out a $5,000 package, if you know, struggling to pay the rent this week, it's going to feel like you're really faking it. But you have to separate that. You have to realize that this is worth $5,000. I'm able to achieve this result. And just, you've got to work on your money mindset stuff in between, because this is where people get really freaked out. But don't make decisions about what other people can spend and what they've got at their disposal based on your current circumstances if you're in struggle, because you are, but not necessarily everybody is. I, hand on heart, am here to tell you that there is money everywhere. There is money everywhere. There's money available to you right now. There are clients available to you right now. All right, if you go away and implement everything that I show you in this webinar, you can have a $5,000 sale by the end of the week. You know, I, hand on heart, believe that 100%. All right, so Nancy said, I want to work myself into being a high ticket coach in order to have committed clients, yeah, and help them get amazing results and keep them accountable. And of course, less clients, more from them. So Nancy, it's great, similar reasons to mine, but what I want to say to you is you don't need to work yourself into that. You can do that today. You know, I don't know if you missed the first part because I know you came on a little bit late, but you do not need to work yourself into anything. It's about making a decision today. Pascal said, I would like to be a high ticket coach for what you say, seeing true transformation, dedication to a few clients. Only some more freedom, yes. Great, Nancy, for working on that money mindset. So important. Okay, yeah, cool. Pascal saying, yes, I struggle with exactly how I can help them for such amount, aka don't have a specific niche and it's more about life, not a, yeah. Okay, also a lack of confidence, yeah. So Pascal, I can tell you that, you know, I have life coaches who offer life coaching, and it's more about a transformation. So it doesn't, we've got people coming in everywhere. And so, which is fabulous. And she's not out, so yeah, this is the other block that people have. We can really start to talk about blocks more and more, but one of the blocks is that that there's no, you know, because I've had people come and say to me, well, you know, it's okay for you because you have a $5,000 product and people pay you $5,000 and then they go away and make a minimum of $5,000. So I kind of understand that that's a no-brainer, but it's not about that. I mean, yes, it's definitely easier for me, but I have life coaches who don't have a specific, you know, when you sign up with this, I'm going to get you this specific result. It doesn't work like that always. So don't, yeah, that is a block that a lot of people have. So just, I want you to suspend that, that block for now and just know that it's possible. My most successful client, the one that sold 4 packages in a month and is about to do it again, she's a life coach. So she's not selling a business product. Yeah. So it's really, really important to really know that stuff and really trust in that. Okay. So yeah, so it's about making the decision to become that. It's about owning that decision with confidence. It's about leaning into your knowing. All right. So for example, you know, let's use weight loss as an example, right? Say you're a coach who is going to help somebody not just, you know, lose weight in 12 weeks, but really transform themselves from the inside out, using their mindset, helping them uncover for themselves what works for them instead of creating some sort of prescribed, eat this on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock and you have to do this exercise, because that doesn't work. We know that stuff doesn't work. So it's imagine a wellness coach going in and working with somebody so that they can figure this shit out for themselves with your support and guidance. And this person goes on and loses, you know, 20 kilos, 10 kilos even, 50 kilos, whatever it is. Is that worth $5,000 to have, you know, this thing that they battled with for probably decades, to actually have solved it and had a hand in solving it themselves, and then they know that it's never going to be a real problem again? That is true transformation, and that's why it's worth $5,000. It's worth more than $5,000, but $5,000 is a low-hanging fruit as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you know what, Nancy? That is true. It's important to build up an audience and be more consistent and all the rest of it, but it starts with the things that you can control, which is being consistent. And then the audience will build naturally from there. But I guarantee that right now there is one person in your community that will say yes to a $5,000 package. You know, we all get into this thing where we feel like we need to delay. It's, you know, the when disease. When I have this, when I do that, when I can do this. You know what? It's just not going to happen in the right, you know, in the time frame that you think it's going to happen. And if you keep waiting, it's just delayed. You know, your success is delayed. So it's really, if you hear one thing, it's, you know, stop overthinking it, stop procrastinating, and make today the day that you decide that I'm just going to sell this freaking $5,000 package and become a high ticket coach. That is who I am now. This is what I do. Everybody's filled with doubt. Even my clients who are killing it are filled with doubt. So it's not like you have to wait until you don't have any fear anymore or doubt or anything like that before you start to act. You just have to start to act and start to take the steps to be able to do this stuff. And then, you know, when you bump up against things, you just work it out, you know, but the thing is to start. I had this is a little off point, but my son has decided to take up boxing. And like the worst thing possible that ever happened to me is my son took up smoking about 5 years ago. And it's like, I cannot believe he smoked cigarettes. It's like I nearly died. Anyway, it was like the worst mum moment ever. And so every time I see him, I'm like, are you giving up smoking? Are you giving up smoking? Anyway, so he's decided he's going to take boxing classes. And then he had a couple of days where I'm going to go, and he didn't go, and I really held firm. And I'm like, if you don't go today, you're never going to go. So you've just got to go. And he'd been talking about this for 12 months, and he finally went last night. And he's like, I nearly died, and I'm giving up smoking because I couldn't breathe, and all the rest of it. And I know that that's all he needed to do, just go to that first class, get over that first hump. And now he'll be in it. He'll be all in. There'll be no stopping him. I know that. And he will give up smoking and all those things. So it doesn't matter what it is in life, whether it's making the decision to be a high ticket coach or, you know, join the gym or sign up for a program or whatever it is. You just got to make the decision, and then just make the decision right. You know, instead of making a decision and then freaking out, it's like fully commit, know what you're getting yourself into, and then just go all in and have faith and trust, because that is how you get to level up. All right, the next thing is leveling up everything in your business. So you've got to level up your offers. So start with that 5K package, level up your content. What's going to come a lot easier to you, Nancy, and probably anyone on the call, is if you're not being visible with your content, a lot of the time it's just because you're kind of a bit freaked out about knowing what to say, and it feels a bit random, and you're struggling for content. But when you nail this $5,000 package and your life and business become about this $5,000 package, it's very easy to find content to talk about, because it's all just relating to this one thing. And that's what, you know, simple is really good. I love a simple, elegant business model, and a $5,000 product, and talking about the $5,000 product and, you know, selling it. working out how we can scale it down the track and all those sorts of things. Just make it so simple and easy. So up-level your offers, up-level your content, up-level your presence. So your presence means your online, your website, your social media stuff. You'll see if you've been in my community for a little while, like I got a little bit dressed up today, but I got to say I have got my workout gear on the bottom because that's just how I roll. So you don't have to, when I say presence, you don't have to necessarily be a different person. Like you'll see most of the time when I do Facebook Lives or whatever in my group, I'm in my workout gear because right now that's my life. I've got massive priority around my health and fitness at the moment. And so that's my life. So when I say presence, it doesn't mean that you have to be somebody different or be super polished or anything like that. But it's your presence is just you really owning this position of high ticket coach and somebody that is confident about getting their clients results. And the last thing, and probably the most important thing that you need to up level are your boundaries. And what I mean by that is, you have to decide if you've been coaching and maybe your boundaries are around the pricing, maybe you've been coaching and not charging enough. Well, your boundary might be, well, I'm not charging anything less than $5,000. Or it might be, I've taken on a lot of this type of client and they drain the life out of me. So I'm setting boundaries around who I will work with, who I won't work with. I'm setting boundaries around the type of work that I'm prepared to do for my clients and the stuff that I'm not prepared to do. Just be really firm with your boundaries, because the stronger you are with your boundaries, the easier you're going to make life for yourself. I had a conversation with one of my clients yesterday, and he was saying, what was he saying about, so he wanted to discount everything all the time. It's like, you don't need to give them the freaking steak knives. Because he's like, well, I've got these people and they're already in this program, so maybe I need to give them a discount. I'm like, no, you don't. And then this other person's like, he said, well, what about these people? I need to give them a discount. I'm like, you don't need to give anybody a bloody discount. Like, there is no discount. The $5,000 package is worth all of the $5,000. You don't need to discount anything. And so, maybe you need to set boundaries around discounting and throwing in the steak knives and things like that, but be really clear on those. For me these days, it's usually, I don't see coaching clients before midday most of the time. That's a new boundary for me because I want to train, go do my Muay Thai in the morning and stuff like that. And, I get to decide how to do this. I get to decide when I work, how I work. And so it was as simple as going in, marking my calendar up until midday so that, I'm not available for coaching up until then. I made the decision that I coach 2 days a week and I take on my 5K clients on Wednesdays. I don't have any coaching calls on Mondays or Fridays. They're client-free days, and they're boundaries that I've stuck to and feel really good for me. So think about what your boundaries are. As a high-ticket coach, you are stepping into something bigger. You get to decide how you want to create this from the ground up. So create it how you want it. Don't start making a rod for your back. Pascal said, I'm a non-smoker for the past 3 weeks. Oh, if I can help myself with that funnies, yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, you are actually really living what you're asking your people to do, getting up and doing stand-up comedy, and like that's not an easy thing to do. You're walking your talk. So that's fantastic. All right. So really, just in summary about positioning yourself as a high ticket coach, is just make the decision to become that. Own the decision with confidence. You are good enough. We all have some crappy version of I'm not good enough. You are good enough right now. Lean into the knowing, the deepest part of you that knows, I'm meant to be doing something bigger. I know that I can, I know that I can do this. I know that if given half, if you haven't had clients yet, if given half the chance, what I really know is that I can do this. I know I can help people. I know I can move them through blocks and challenges. I know that I can show them the way forward. Just really lean into that and then level up everything, your offers, your content, your presence, and your boundaries. All right. How to craft your sweet spot $5,000 package. So I really can't strongly emphasize enough how important it is to create something that you're going to love doing. Because the model that I use with my clients is I get them selling, you know, they need to have a couple of consistent 20K months or 4 package months before we even start to talk about scaling, because I want them to be abundant. I want them to be flush with cash. I want them to be working closely with their clients, getting good results. You know, when you're working closely with clients, you've got so much stuff to talk about, you know, with your social media content and all the rest of it, obviously keeping names out of it. But sometimes even one conversation with a client can spark 27 topics that you can go off and talk about. It's not even related to your client, you know. So when you're in that space and you're working with the clients and you're making a lot of money, it just feels good. And that's where I want them to sit and stay for as long as possible. Because what happens is coaches often go, oh, I had a successful month. Oh, I need to create an online program now, which is like, don't even think about that, because people aren't buying online programs the way they used to. If you spend 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 hours creating an online program that may or may not work, I'd rather you spend those 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 hours giving great quality content, doing discovery calls and selling $5,000 packages. Like if you did 100 hours of that, you'd be sitting pretty, I tell you. And so the reason that you need to create an offer that is really in your sweet spot and feels good and feels easy is because you're going to be doing a lot of it, you know. And then when you're at capacity and you've been busy for a little while, then we start to take the pressure off by offering some sort of small group program that's still high ticket. But you need to be doing what feels easy for you and what lights you up. So what I love about my coaching is I can jump on a call and spend, you know, usually my sessions used to go a lot shorter, but I'm really giving a full hour with my clients now, just because I'm letting them really pick my brains as much as they need to. So I, you know, give them what they need, and it's like, you've got me, I may as well like ask whatever questions you have. And so I give them that time, but it feels easy. It feels like an easy conversation to have with my clients, because I know the stuff that I'm doing with them like the back of my hand. It is so easy for me to do the work because I don't have to think about it. I don't have to strain any brain cells to think about, you know, how to coach them through the next thing or to the next thing. And so that's what you need to create as well. And what tends to happen is coaches tend to think that, you know, oh, that's not really, you know, would someone pay for that? Usually that's the question I get, well, will someone pay for that? And I'm like, yeah, they will. But so for the 5K formula, my program, my package came from taking on, you know, high-end coaching clients and then wanting to get them a result really quickly. But, you know, I can remember a couple of years ago thinking about, I love this packaging part, like this is, and sending them off to sell, like I love this bit. And it never occurred to me that that could be an entire program. I don't know why, you know, but it never occurred to me that it could be an entire program, but it is, and it works, and it's my most successful program yet. So there's going to be something that you do now, and it's probably part of something that you already do, that feels super effortless and easy, and you haven't necessarily thought about it just yet. So think of what parts of what you do now light you up. And if you haven't got clients yet and you don't know that, then what feels easy and effortless to you in that space? And then what is it that your audience wants that you 100% know you can deliver? So for example, you know, I was working with all sort of service-based women entrepreneurs. Now it's coaches, because I just love working with coaches. And what do they want? They want to make more money. They want to find new clients and they want to make more money. So in my Secret Coaches business group, when people come into the group, they have to answer questions, and they're the questions that I ask them. And, you know, they want more clients and they want to make more money, and they don't know where to get clients and they don't know how to make the money. And so, you know, I know they want to make more money. So this is a perfect fit. And so then I want you thinking about what transformational result can you provide? So I know for me, if somebody comes along, even if they've had to stretch themselves to invest $5,000 for that program, then what I know is that when they do, I back myself to get them a result. I know that if they invest $5,000 with me, they will at least sell one $5,000 program over that 4 weeks. Usually it's 2, but it's not just about getting a return on investment for that initial work. I know that they're going to get an ongoing benefit because I've taught them to fish. They can basically rinse and repeat this for as long as they want to. So mine is a financial transformational result, but it's also a mental one as well. To go from selling low ticket coaching to becoming a high ticket coach very quickly, you've got to do a lot of mindset work, and you've got to really wriggle into that, and blocks come up and all the rest of it. So we have to work with that. But your transformational result could be, don't underestimate, a transformational result, feeling happy in your life, or losing weight, or meeting the love of your life, or achieving something that you thought you would never achieve, like getting up and doing stand-up comedy or running a marathon. Or if you can coach someone to do any of those things, that is a transformational result. So think about, what transformational result can you provide? And what's the quickest time frame that you can deliver that result in? The universe loves speed, but in the instance of my 20K sale client, she's the life coach. Her program was originally 5 months, and I just couldn't wriggle her on that. She's like, no, it's got to be 5 months. I'm like, okay, this is a long time to work with people. And now we've brought it back to 3 months. And she said, I can see this being a month-long package for $5,000, just because she's doing a lot of the work and we're working out how to compress time frames. So, but right now for you, and that's the thing, this is a thing that we go, okay, we're going with this because it feels perfect. And even if I don't think it's perfect, if they think it's perfect, then I know it's going to work. Like, I'm like, 3 months is all they need. No, it was going to be 5 months. It's like, okay, as long as you believe 5 months is the thing and the price is right and everything's right, then away we go. So it's something that molds and shifts a little bit. The more that you do it, the more confident you become in doing it, the more, you're able to deliver a better product over time. But don't get caught up in thinking it's got to be perfect now for you to start selling it. The only way to know that you're going to be good at this stuff is to start doing it. And it doesn't mean you're going into that with it, not ethical, because it's like, well, I don't know if I can get a result because I haven't done it. If you know it, because you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be entertaining this idea if you didn't know it deep down. And I guarantee when someone gives you the opportunity and they give you $5,000, you will get them a result. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. And in the beginning, especially, because you might only have 1 or 2 signed up, so you can give them all the love, and get them the result that they need. And then you're going to feel really good about that. And they're going to love you as well. So think about, what's the quickest time frame that you can deliver this result in? The universe really loves speed. So some things take time. So like my life coach client, she's dealing with clients who have lifelong stuff that they need to deal with. So that does take a little bit longer. For me, it's like 4 weeks works really well, because there's a lot of pressure that goes on. That's a good thing, because people have to work pretty fast, and then they move mountains, and that creates its own type of energy, and good things happen. But what I want you to know about the $5,000 package is the price stays the same. It is always $5,000, but everything else can be variable. So the time frame can be variable. How often you catch up with your clients can be variable. You know what I mean? How much support you offer. So that is all variable, but the price remains at $5,000. And I know for some of you that is going to be a stretch, a mindset stretch to go and start straight off the bat, especially you, Pascal, if you decide that, oh yeah, I think I'm going to start my coaching business. Yes, I'm doing it. I'm going to start charging $5,000. You get caught up in the initial, yes, I can do this. And then we freak out like everybody does. So it does take a lot of really fast internal growth, because especially if you do the program with me, because I'm forcing you to deal with that stuff in real time while you're doing the work. And then by the time you sell that first program, that stuff just doesn't even matter anymore. We've dealt with it, you've moved on, you've got past your blocks, and you just do it. All right, so some errors that coaches make when they're creating their packages is they either overpromise and it just looks cheesy. Do you know what I mean? We know the overpromises. It's like, spend 4 weeks with me and you're going to be married and you're going to have a baby and you're going to own the house by the water. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't want to overpromise, but we also don't want to underpromise either. You know, if you know you can achieve a result for somebody, if they follow your advice and implement the things that you're asking them to do, then don't underpromise. Now, I was very reticent about promising things because I felt like, well, what if somebody, you know, what if I promise that and somebody doesn't get a result? Like, you know, and I've been doing this a long time, but even I still have those thoughts. And, you know, straight away the thought came to me and it's like, well, it won't be anything that I do wrong. A bit of sass going on. And it's like, it's true, because I know what I'm doing. I know my stuff. I can guarantee a result if they do the work. If they don't do the work, if they can't get out of their own way, I can't guarantee the result because they're not picking up their end of the bargain. But I know that if they do everything that I ask them to do in the time that I ask them to do it, they will get a result. And that's all, you know, really hear this, because this is all you can hang your hat on. Because there are always going to be clients that don't get results, and you can't base your success and failure on the ones that aren't getting results. You know, you've got to look at the people that you've worked with that do get results, that did get results, and go, yeah, why did they get results? Because they did what I asked them to do, you know, and really sit in that space. Don't get into this questioning of, well, what if they don't do the work, or what if they don't get a result? You just have to be bulletproof and know that if they do everything that I ask them to do and I give them the right level of support, I know they will get a result. You've really just got to sit with that. The other thing is throwing in the free steak knives. You know, it's like the simplest program is the better one. You know, you don't want to create a program that promises 27 different things. You want to have really a strong focus of, you know, this is the thing we're trying to achieve. Don't try to be everything to everybody. I can't see who's come on, but welcome. Yeah, you don't try to do too much, probably, in the program is the main thing, because that just leads to a diluted product, and it means that you're scrambling, trying to make everything happen. You just want to be really clear and elegant about what is this thing we're trying to achieve. It's this, and this is the thing that we're working on. So in the instance of, you know, the clients that work with me longer term, we do this 5K formula up front. I wasn't calling it that when I first started doing it. It's just what I did. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we do to work on scale, content, all that sort of stuff. But I'm not going to try and include that in the 5K formula product, because then it dilutes the power of that product. So yeah, try not to throw in too much. Keep it as simple as possible, and focus on, you know, a single outcome if you can. The other error that coaches make is, you know, they procrastinate about, oh, I don't know if I can do $5,000. I don't know if people will pay this. They start second guessing, they start procrastinating, and then they abort mission. It's like, it just never happens. You know, they like, I'm going to do this. This is the year I did. And then nothing ever happens. You know what I mean? Because they talk themselves out of it. They overthink and they talk themselves out of it. The other thing is getting caught in perfectionism. You know, I have to have this amount of people in my audience. I have to, you know, have the sales page perfect. I have to have this other thing right. The moon and the stars need to be aligned. You just got to start. You know, like my son with the boxing, he wasn't as fit as he wanted to be. He was still smoking. He started on a Tuesday, not a Monday. You know, nothing was perfect, but he went, and now he's in. And so, you know, and I can use many examples from my own life, you know, in business and the fitness stuff as well, where I just stopped overthinking it, surrendered to it, and went, you know what, I'm just doing it. I'm surrendering all my excuses and bullshit, and it's like, I'm just going to do it. And then you just go and show up, or you just start the thing, and then the wheels are in motion, and that's when you start to get, you know, you start to make some progress. And then the other thing that coaches do as well is they try to create a program with a specific market in mind. Now, might seem confusing, because in one of the other slides I said, you know, what does your market want? But when you're creating a specific $5,000 product, what I want you to think about is, what is the work that you do best? What feels effortless to you? What feels amazing? What is the result that you can promise? What's the work you want to do? Blah, 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 all of those sorts of things. And then we think about who's the perfect person for this product? Because what I don't want you to do is go, okay, so I'm going to work with, coaches that, work in, I don't know, fitness, and, they've got to be 40 years of age and they've been working in the industry, because then I'm going to go, okay, what product do I need to create for them? And it's taking me out of my sweet spot. Whereas if I say, what's the work that I want to do? What do I know I'm good at? Blah, 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 blah. What's the thing I want to create? What do I feel inspired to create right now? Get all that sorted. Then who is a good market for this? Who is a good person for this? Because as I say, if you do it the other way around, it takes you out of your sweet spot. I don't want you trying to accommodate anybody when you're creating this thing. I want you to think about you. Be selfish as hell. Create what you want to create. Do the work that you want to do. And trust me, the right people will be there for you. All right. How to sell your $5,000 package with ease. When you are ready to sell your package, you basically have to have nothing less than zero doubt. So you have to have zero doubt. And that's why it's got to be this sweet spot offer. So if and if it feels like, well, I doubt because I'm not sure I can do this bit, or I'm worried about this bit, then eliminate them. The bits that you're not sure about, eliminate, and just contract the program so it's simpler, smaller, so that every word on the sales page, every promise that you make, at cellular level that you can deliver that. Because anything less than that is going to cause you problems. So you have to have bulletproof confidence around that. The next thing that you need to have is an effective discovery call process. So the way that I set it up with my clients and also for myself is I have a discovery call page where I basically say, don't waste my time. I'm gonna show up. I'm treating this as an appointment. So if you're gonna book in for a discovery call, you better show up, basically, in a nice way, because I'm not wasting my time with people who are gonna make appointments and then not keep them. My show rate is 100%. And I know in the industry, a lot of people just don't show up for discovery calls, but it's just how you frame it. So you can always go to my website, michellehex.com, and you'll see the discovery call in the navigation. Go and have a look, borrow that if you want. And then people get to scheduling themselves. So it's an online scheduling system. And then I ask very specific questions that basically help pre-frame the clients, but also give me a lot of information so that when I run the discovery call, I know a lot about them and I know whether I can help them or not. I've gone and had a look at their websites and things like that usually. So an effective discovery call process means, they need to be able to schedule you online. If you're in my online, my Facebook group, you would have seen this, but I did this thing where for ages I was booking discovery calls with coaches because I thought I could do with a life coach. Like I need to really get my shit together with my training and a few other things. So it'd be nice to have someone to hold me accountable. And I looked at maybe 30 coaches' sites and probably 4 had online scheduling. I'm not going to ring someone to make an appointment for a discovery call. I don't want to have to email someone to make an appointment for a discovery call. I just want to be able to click on the freaking schedule and book it in, because otherwise I lose interest. So you have to have that set up. So use an automated scheduling system. I use Acuity. It works really well for me. Make sure you've got those screening questions in there. And then when you run the discovery call, it's really about mastering the listening. That's how you master discovery calls. So when you run those discovery calls, ditch the script. I remember when I first did my coaching training back in 99, and we had this freaking script, and it's like, okay, open the conversation with this, and then, but make it your own. And it just felt so wooden, and I couldn't make it my own. And I tried for a long time, and I just hated the freaking thing. So I burnt it and just went, you know what, I'm just going to listen to what my client, what these people have to say. And if I can help them, I'm going to know that I can help them. And then I'm just going to talk about that. It changed everything. So I have no script. No 2 discovery calls are ever the same for me. They come to me pre-screened through the questions. They've usually, come across me on social or something like that. If they've taken the time to fill out the screening questions, I know they're invested. And then we have a conversation, and the discovery call is really about them. It's not about me. It's about, okay, what's going on for you in your business? Or, you know, if you're a life coach, what's going on for you in your life? Okay, so, you know, where do you feel like you're most challenged with this? And then it's as simple as asking, so how do you think I can help you? And then they'll say, well, I think you can help me. Like, is that not the best question ever? It's like, how do you think I can help you? And then they'll tell you exactly how you can help them. And if you can, you'll know it, and you'll say, I can absolutely help you with that. So do you want some help with that? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about, are you happy for me to talk to you about my coaching package? Yes, please. And then you just have the conversation. And if you're charging $5,000, they may need to go and talk to their husband or wife or partner or whatever, or they may need to go and check, you know, to see if they can get a credit card or something like that. But if it's a clean sale and they really want it, they'll come back. You know, I'm not into pressuring people to sign on the day. It's like, I'll send you an invoice, you know, let's schedule you in for your first session. And then, you know, if they're still prepared to pay after they get off the call, then I know I'm not going to have any problems with them. You know, so just back and trust yourself to know that if you've done it, if you really can help them and they know that you really can help them and you've really listened to them and it makes sense for them to work with you, then they will. You know, and if they can't, because financially they can't at the time, they will move heaven and earth. It may not be next week, it may be 12 months from now, but they'll remember and they'll come back. So it's always planting seeds. So every discovery call that you do might not result in a sale straight away, but it's a sale down the track if you've done your job right. And so over time that builds up. And, you know, I have clients come to me all the time who, you know, they've been watching me for 2 years. I didn't even know they were in my community at all, or they might have done a discovery call with me and 2 years have passed and it's like, now I'm ready, I've got the money. So, you know, don't underestimate that we're planting seeds all of the time, but learn to love discovery calls. I set my business up for so long so I didn't have to do a single discovery call. It was like, just buy the thing, you know, I didn't want to have to. And I had many clients sign up via Messenger. They're like, okay, I know your coaching program's this much, I want to sign up. How can I get started? It was great, but I would say yes to those clients and some of them weren't ideal. You know, I want to really be selective about who I work with because I'm in it too. You know, and life's too short for me to deal with people that drain me. And at the end of the day, if I say yes to them, I'm saying no to the person that's going to be a better fit. So, you know, the discovery call is not just about them discovering whether they want to work with you. It's about you discovering if you really, truly want to work with this person as well. And one of the most empowering things that my clients do is say no. You know, when they say no to somebody, they know they've really stepped into their integrity. They've really stepped into owning their place as a high ticket coach who is not prepared just to help anybody. But anybody, it's not just about someone paying you money, but it's about you agreeing to spend time with that person and get them a result. So the discovery call, there's, you know, in my Secret Coaches business group, I did a 3-day boot camp on discovery calls. So go and watch that. It was fantastic training. It's probably the best stuff I've done on discovery calls. So go watch that if you're not sure about how to do that, but we'll leave that there for today. And then the other thing is you've got to have 100% confidence, as I said, in your program. You know, is it the right product? Like, do you feel like this is your sweet spot offer? It's a no-brainer for you to do. Is it the right market? So is it a no-brainer product for your market? And is the price right? And that's a trick question because yes, it's $5,000 is the right price. Okay, now next is how to sign up your first 5K client. You've got to, you know, I'm talking a lot about intangibles. You know, you've got to feel bulletproof about your offer and you've got to make a decision that you're going to do this. But the intangibles are what make the difference. You know, having the right product, you know, I've come across so many coaches who have beautiful sales pages. Everything's perfect. They've had the photo shoot, everything's right, and they're not making any money. And there's no logical reason for them not to make any money. But it's the intangible stuff. They haven't got out of their own way. They haven't really fully committed to it. They haven't felt bulletproof about their product. They haven't just made it their life's mission for this period of time to sell, you know, their packages. So not my package, not the 5K package, but whatever they've been doing before. So I am speaking a lot about intangibles, but I'm sure you know this feeling where you feel like, I'm making the decision, this shit is happening, there is no way it's not going to happen. You know, when you're in that space, that's when good things happen. So you need to be in that space. And you can't be in that space if you're worried about little bits and pieces on your sales page or parts of the promises and all the rest of it. You need to really make sure that you feel bulletproof, because otherwise it's going to erode your confidence. The next thing that you need to do is schedule in discovery calls, that's meant to say, a minimum of 10 calls. So you want to make sure that, because, you know, you might start off with your conversion rate being 1 in 10, you know, because it might just take you a little while to find your feet in the discovery call process, get comfortable, have an intimate knowledge of your product and feel really good about that, because it can feel very conceptual if you haven't sold one yet and you haven't worked with clients in that way yet. It just feels like a concept, but you've got to just fall in love with the process. Imagine what it feels like to have a client go through that process and get the result. Imagine yourself working in that space, doing that work, and then get those discovery calls booked in. You know, ideally, you know, most people, it takes 4 to 5 discovery calls to get their first yes. But, you know, let's work on the side of you being really shit at it for the first 5. And we go, you know, it might take you 10 calls to get a yes. All right. So you want to schedule 10 calls. Don't make it about the money. So if you go into any discovery calls, like I need this sale because I need to pay the rent, or I want to do this or whatever, you just lose everything. So it has to be about, you go into the discovery call, and I always just remind myself, you know what? The right clients never pass me by. They just never pass me by. If this is meant to be, it'll work out. And if it's not, that's okay too. So I really totally disconnect from I have to have this outcome. You know, when you're white knuckling it, you scare the shit out of people. Like, even if you're not saying it, your energy is there. So, you know, you have to go in completely detached from the outcome and just going curious. It's like, wow, I really want to meet this person and have this conversation with this person and hear all about what's going on for them. And then, you know, I'll know in this conversation whether I can help them or not. And then if I think I can help them, I'm going to let them know. It's that simple, but don't make it about the money, because if you make it about, oh, I'm about to sell, make $5,000, it's the wrong energy to go into it with. So it's really got to be about detached from whether you're making a sale or not. Meet these people, meet them where they're at with their energy, and really be present with them and really fully understand them. And, you'll get this little click in your tummy where it's like, oh my God, I can help them. I know I can help them. And then share that with them. Like, I know I can help you with this. So can we talk about how I can help you with that? And just be chilled about it. Like, don't freak out about, getting them to sign up or whatever, because it's not like I have to sign them up today or they're never coming back. Like, if you've done that discovery call right and you've been able to help them, it's help them get clarity, and they know that you can help them. It's going to be a no-brainer. The other thing that I should have made a note in here, but when you do a discovery call, it's not coaching. So under no circumstances are you to coach anyone in a discovery call. Because if you coach, that's when coaches feel like, I just have to prove myself. I just have to show them how good I am. I just have to prove to them that I can, help them with this thing. You don't want to be coaching, because that's what people pay you for. So be protective of your coaching skills. It is something that's very, very valuable. You don't just give that shit away for nothing. So make sure that you are asking the right questions, and just be clear. Like, this isn't a coaching call. This is a discovery call. I really want to understand the situation that you're in, and I want to make sure that I can help you. And if I can, we'll talk about that. But people aren't stupid. If they've signed up for a discovery call, they know that you're going to try and sell them something. They know that, they're not, it's not like you've got a fish on the end of a hook. This is somebody that is making a conscious decision. I need help with this. I think this person's the one. I'm going to go start the ball rolling. And what many coaches don't realize is, or they underestimate just what it took for somebody to take that step to book the discovery call and to actually show up for the call. Sometimes that's a big step for people. So really treat it that way, because we just do our thing. But some people are, you know, I've been following you for ages, and, you know, it just took me ages to reach out. I just didn't feel confident or whatever. And it's like, oh, wow, okay. You know, it's like we don't realize that people have got all this stuff going on in their head. So really give them the respect of, you know, thank you for showing up. You know, a lot of people don't show up. So, or, you know, traditionally, this is what happens. You know, people sometimes don't show up for these, or they cancel at the last minute, or whatever. So yeah, okay, now I want to hear why you're here, basically. And just be really relaxed with it. And then another thing that I love to do with my clients is we clear the path for new clients. So we need to make sure our ducks are in a row. Do you have an onboarding process? Can you take payments? There are going to be clients who go, yep, I want to sign up and I'm going to pay now. Can you take payments? Even if it's not right away, have you got a system in place so that if you send them an invoice, they can pay it without it being a drama? You know, so make sure that you've got onboarding, client management, so that you know where everyone's at any particular time. Know that you can take payments easily. You just need systems in place, because the, you know, client agreements, contracts, that sort of thing. I've got an extra S in there. Sorry, I always do my best proofreading after I click publish. So yeah, you want to have your systems in place, because the last thing that you want is to take on a client and then be freaked, oh, I didn't get them to sign an agreement, or you know, I have a couple of key forms that I have, and one is an agreed scope agreement, where I basically say, this is the work that we're doing, this is what I'm this is what I'm promising to deliver. You need to sign off on this. And I'm not promising a result. I'm promising, you know, I'm not promising a guaranteed result. I'm like, if you do the work, you will get a result. But I'm promising these 4 sessions. I promise that we're going to focus on this. I'm going to do this for you, and blah, blah, blah. And I just map it all out so that, you know, in the event that someone comes back and say, I didn't get what I paid for, you can say, you know what, you did, because see this bit of paper here and you signed off on it. And I've got a record here of all the things that we did to show that we, in fact, did do those things. Sadly, the world we live in now, like I've been coaching since 91, and I've never experienced anything like that sort of stuff up until it was about the end of 2016, 2017, the start of 2017. I had a few problems like that. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And it's just that, you know, people now are really aware that, you know, especially with things like PayPal, for example, if a client had paid me via PayPal and they said, I didn't get, you know, she promised me this and I didn't get it, PayPal will seize my account. So if that person's paid me 10 grand, PayPal is going to seize my account to the tune of $10,000 for as long as it takes for them to work out whether I did in fact deliver or not. And so keeping track of everything, you know, I can quickly go back and go, okay, here's my client record, here's screenshots of blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no problem, that's fine. And then the money gets released. But I can remember it took months and months and months. But people know now, they're a bit more savvy, and they know they can cause you dramas. So it's really important that you have a number of different payment systems and stuff like that. This is a whole other topic. It's a big, juicy one, and I love talking about it because, you know, I would never have even thought about this stuff except it happened to me. And it's like, that shit is not happening again. So I'm going to make sure this is watertight. And so I created a program around that. It's called Coaching Business Systems, or Set Your Coaching Business Up from the Start Right, or something like that. It's not a very sexy name. I might have to change that. But it's all of that stuff. It includes all of that stuff. But the other thing that I love to do with my clients is when we first start working together, I said, I want you to create 4 empty client folders. So, you know, with the empty names, so that as those clients come in, you can allocate names. And that is the, you know, the ultimate in creating space for your clients. You've got a nice little folder set up, coaching clients, and then inside it, you know, client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4, or whatever. And that is inviting clients into your world. So it's a lovely little thing to do, and it works. All right. So the next thing that I want to talk about is where your 5K package fits into the grand scheme of things. Because some of you may be thinking, you know, it's great, but if I'm taking on 4 clients a month, you know, I'm going to be really busy, especially if it's, say, it's an 8-week program or a 12-week program and that starts to overlap. You're going to have periods of time where you're like coaching a lot, and you lose the will to live. It doesn't matter how much you love, you know, coaching your clients. And so then it's going to be a matter of working at, well, how do we get to scale this thing? Like, how do we scale it from here so that I can work with a number of clients at one time and still deliver a great result? So in the grand scheme of things, with my coaching clients, like my longer term, like my inner circle clients, we start with a 5K package, and when they get really busy with that and they're at capacity, the next thing that we do is work out, okay, so how do we scale this now so that you can deliver the same result, as I said, with more people and still be paid really well to do it? And that's where we introduce, you know, morphing it into a small group program. And, you know, you can still elect to do individual coaching in this space as well. But, you know, usually you just want to go, you know what, I'm just doing it as a group program now because it works. You know, it might take a couple of times to get it quite right, but usually it's pretty close. And then from there, it'd be like, okay, now we want to introduce a passive income stream as well. So that you can run your program off and on when you want. You can elect to take on private clients if you want, and then you want to have some sort of passive income product as well so that you're always making sales. And then from there, it's like the world is your oyster. You can go anywhere with that stuff. You can rinse and repeat. So you might say, that 5K package worked beautifully. Now I have the group program. What's the next package that I want to create? So I guess what I really want to illustrate is this doesn't mean that for the rest of your natural life you're selling $5,000 packages and being overworked, because that's not what it's all about. So for me right now, I'm scaling the 5K package for coaches in a small group program where I have only 10 spots available. And 4 of them, because one of the things that makes the 5K package so amazing is I build sales pages, I write the copy, I source all the imagery, you know, I help them unpack it, but I do all the tech stuff. So people don't have to actually go out of their way to do that stuff themselves, because I know a lot of coaches get stuck with that. So in the group program, I'm offering 4 spaces where I do that, where I do a single session with the client to help them to really unpack one-on-one. They'll do the group call and then we'll debrief and work out how to craft it for them. And then I'll go away and create their sales page. But then there are 6 spots available because there are a lot of coaches who are quite technically savvy. They know how to build a sales page, all that sort of stuff. And then they'll all be in a Facebook group, and even those people will have me going over the page, going, okay, you need to change this heading. I don't like that image. That font looks shit. You know, whatever it is. Or if you word it like this, it's going to convert better. So I may not be building the pages for the people that come into the lower end one, but I'm actually hands-on. And the reason that I'm keeping it to 10 is because I know that I can manage 10. I'm not taking on any more private 5K packages for the duration of the program because I want to be really hands-on in that group. So if you are interested in doing the 5K formula, it starts next Monday. I'm just going to bring up the page for you because I had some early birds, but because you guys are on the call, so this is the page. So it's actually, I'm going to put it in the messages so you might just want to click on it and when it comes up, because when I close out, what's happening? Oh, hang on, I'm having a little tech moment there. Yeah. Copy. Why is that not happening? Paste. There we go. All right, so this is basically the sales page. I'm not going to go through it because you can go through and read it yourself, but you'll see down the bottom. So there are the 2 options. One is where you get to participate, but I'm really hands-on. I'm reading everything. I'm telling you that's not a great image, or this is how that package doesn't make sense. I think it needs to be like this. So, it's the closest thing you're going to get to working with me one-on-one, but also doing the work yourself. And the second option is where we do the private session and I build out all the tech stuff. So you have to decide, what's in your budget, and also how likely are you to do the technical work yourself. There are still, I've only sold one spot on this one, so there are still 3 spots available. So the program is week 1, we uncover that package. You know, we did a little bit today, but it's like the nuts and bolts of uncovering that. Week 2 is matching your offer to the perfect market. So I want you to know, you know, I want you to work out who that market is and be really clear on who the market is based on your product. Week 3 is about the discovery call process and getting you really comfortable with that and booking in discovery calls. And then week 4 is where everybody's selling packages. Some people will sell them in week 2, but for most people, they're going to be selling their packages in week 4. There's bonus content in there about the different revenue streams that you can create, you know, once you've got this being a success. And then it's not pre-recorded, so they're all going to be live Zoom calls. And I think it works out to be about 2:30 in the afternoon in LA, and it's 9:30 in the morning on Monday here, but it's Sunday on the other side of the world. But they're all going to be pre-recorded, or they'll all be recorded like this. They'll be uploaded to a dashboard page, so you'll always have access to it. You know, I'm doing a program at the moment where they're all live, and I never go live just because the time's not right, but I just go in and make sure that I watch the recording. I go back into the Facebook group if there's any questions and I post them, and then the coach answers them for me. So it'll work the same way. So if you really can't make the calls, it's not going to be the be all and end all. If you get in there, you keep the pace of the program, you watch it as soon as you can, you know, you go into the group and ask for help if you need it. The investment it's basically $1,500 for option 1, and it is basically $3,000 for the US for the second option, where I'm building your sales pages. And the bonuses were only for paid in full. The bonuses were only for paid in full. So the coaching business systems program that I spoke about, it's filled with templates. It's all about how to onboard your clients, which payment systems I use, it's basically everything you need to do to manage your clients really well, but also cover your ass in the event of something going pear-shaped. So that usually sells for $497. I'm including that as an early bird. I've got another program, which is my 30-day content mastery program. That sells for $397. So that's 30. It's 4 workshops. It was a live program, so you're going to be watching the recordings. And then there are prompts every day for 30 days about how to go and create content. Because after you do this program, you will know exactly what you need to be talking about. And this will help you to create some structure and get that consistency around your content. I wouldn't even try and do this program if you didn't know who you were and what you did as a coach and you had a really solid product. But it's a perfect addition for this program, because you're going to know really clearly who you are, what you do, what you stand for, who your market is, what they want to hear, and this program will be the perfect fit. And I also had 14 days of Voxer support for free. But if you're on this call and you sign up within the 13 hours, see the early bird time, I'm going to give you those bonuses, including the Voxer, even if you use the payment plan. So that's the bonus of being on the call. So the payment plan is, for the $1,500 option, it is 8 payments of $250. It's every fortnight. And the other one is $950 every fortnight. And anyone who pays in full will get an additional coaching call with me. So instead of getting 1 coaching call, you're going to get 2. So it's not written anywhere because it's on the, because we're doing the call. But if you're watching the recording, you'll see a countdown clock sitting there waiting for you. But when you sign up, just let me know. I know who's on the call, so just let me know I'm in, and can I please have the bonuses that you promised, and I'll make sure that I get them to you. So do you have any questions about any of the content that we spoke about so far, or any questions about the program? And feel free to unmute yourself and speak to me if you don't want to type in the box. Oh, the other thing that I was going to say to you as well is I created a workbook as well. I emailed you the workbook, but if you have a look in, if you scroll to the top of the comments, you'll see there's a link there as well. So you can click that and go fill it in as well. Okay, no questions? Pascal, any questions?
Okay, I was hi again. I muted myself. Sorry, I was just trying to go through the page program. So so you say that like it's every week though, so you meet and so everyone chat together. Is it you delivering a training? How does it work? Like the weekly process,
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, so the weekly lessons will be much like today. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be, I'll have slides set up for you. You'll have a workbook. We'll go through the training together because it's not so much a presentation, but a workshop. So you guys will be able to ask questions in real time, and we'll, you know, if I need to come on and answer a question while while we're doing the call, that will happen. So I've scheduled, the calls won't go for a couple of hours, but I've scheduled plenty of time. So it's not like the call will go for exactly 1 hour. I want everybody to get what they need. So, for example, say you can't make the call, but you've got a question, you've really got a burning question, you let me know and I will answer it on the call and just say, Pascal had this question, so I'm going to answer that first so that she knows that she can come and watch the recording. Yeah, I just make sure everybody gets what they need. So it'll be 4 live calls like this. And as soon as the recording's made available, I'm going to add it to the dashboard so you can access it. And then the Facebook group is, I'm in there all the time. So whatever you need, you know, you'll say, hey, I've built my sales page, for example, can you have a look at it for me? Just tag me in it. I'm going to go over that sales page with a fine tooth comb and then give you the suggestions of things that you need to fix and how you can fix them and all the rest of it. Yeah, so it's really super hands-on.
Okay, and I'm just trying to think. Once, let's say, because right now, I, for example, personally, I don't have an idea of like, you know, what exact program I could offer and how, you know, how it would all come together. So I think that's like, that's on first week where you say like, what's your sweet spot, where you need to find like your sweet spot. But okay, so through the sweet spot, do you actually work to see like, I don't know, how do you, okay, so let's say that you find your sweet spot. I know that like I'm good with, I was going to say confidence, even though I'm not confident in just that right now.
Yeah, I think I know what you're asking. And yes, we're going to delve right into that. So I'm going to actually help you to uncover what that is. So even though it's a presentation, you might say, look, you might come on the call and say, Michelle, I think it might be this, but I'm just not sure. And we'll just workshop it in real time.
Okay.
Yeah. So you will definitely get that sweet spot offer in the first week. You don't need to know what it is. You just need to know that I can help extract it from you.
Okay. Yeah. That's the thing. And the fact that, for example, like, you know, me, I was just taking my time, like back to my website, which is half built, you know, and it's like, okay, so I need to do, but you know, I don't have that ready. The only thing that I do have is social media followers on Instagram. That's the only thing that I have.
That's fine.
But besides that, you know, I have like, you know, no website, no, like, you know, it's just me sometimes showing up saying like, hey, listen, guys, here, I can help you with that. And sometimes it's just like personal thing, which always have a, you know, whatever connection to what they can connect at some level. I'm not showing up yet as like the, you know, I don't think that even though I have these followers, I'm not showing up yet as the
so
very.
Do you have your URL?
What do you mean?
So
like for Instagram? No, that's Instagram, the only thing that I have. I don't have the website.
You don't have the website name or anything like that? That's okay. We go through all of that. So if I feel like you really need that, then I'm going to do a tutorial on how you can do that. I'll take you through the process. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like the website I have, like, it means that it's not live. Then I have like the main pages, etc. It's just it's not yet either polished or well built for some of the stuff. But the techie side is there. It's just that like it's me who hasn't finished yet a lot of things.
Oh, that's fine. That's perfect. That's perfect actually, because what we can do is just create the sales page, and that can become a landing page that is your website for now. And then we can build out the other things. So that's perfect.
Can I ask you, like, we often see on the coaching side that's like, we often say like, so I know that you talk about how we scale later, but we often see like how you offer almost like three options, to people to work with you. And so, like my options ideas were very different from a 5,000K program. So how do you go like with, for example, someone who has nothing out there? Like, would you go just like one program? Was it like a 5,000?
Yep, one product.
5,000. That's just like the way we go. Like,
yeah.
You see, when I say it, I'm not 100% confident with myself.
No, seriously, it works. It works because you've only got one focus, and you just become very good at this thing, and you become known for that. And, when you're focused on one thing, you're going to get results, and that's what helps you build a reputation very, very quickly. And so my philosophy is I deliver really good quality free content, and a lot of it. So my content is either free or expensive and worth it. So there's nothing in between. There's nothing in between. There's a couple of digital products, like my systems and all the rest of it. But essentially, it's if you want to work with me, like I'm giving you a lot of free content in my community and all the rest of it. But if you want to really work with me, and there's no substitute to really working with me, then you have to invest. And that's just the way I do it. But when I started selling I'd taken a hiatus from my business, I went into partnership with somebody else to run some other things. It turned into a bit of a shit show. And then I went into selling low ticket stuff and all the rest of it. And I came back and I went, you know what? I want to go high ticket again because I just believe in it. It's just what I do best. And I thought, okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to start doing it. And I just started going back. I made the decision. I was like, this is what I do. This is who I am. I've got all the experience in the world. I know my shit. This is just what I'm doing. And so my Facebook group had less than 60 people in it, and I had a $40,000 month. It was small, but because I was giving such good quality content and they knew me, when I met them with full force, like I'm ready, I'm showing up, here I am, I'm ready to work with people. There were people waiting for me. I didn't know it. I was telling myself, my group's not big enough. I need 5,000 in my group, all that sort of stuff. And I just parked all of that and went, is it possible? Yes. I only need one person to say yes. Like at the time, it's like, I just need one person to say yes. And so we just start with what you've got.
Now I know, because I even have, I have my convert kit that I have for the past 2 years, right? I haven't sent an email to anyone in 2 years. I have 300 people in the list, I think, which at the time, 2 years ago, 200 maybe. 2 years ago, I tried to sell a group coaching, which I sold to 2 persons. But since I went just like AWOL, and I'm like, it's crazy first because I'm paying for a system that I'm not using. And then because there is people here, but now I'm just afraid to contact them and say, hey, 2 years, how are you guys?
No, we would use that to our advantage. Don't worry about it. We would use that to our advantage for sure. There's a way to deal with that that will probably get you a result.
Yeah. And I like your idea of like, it's either free or expensive. It's this thing where with the expensive thing, it's like, I know that like when we go expensive, and then either it's us as coach or people who come to a coach. When we invest, we go for it. So either as a coach, we know that we will go like 100% present with the people. And the same way that like someone who invests a lot more money than they think they should, or like that's whatever, they will invest themselves like very much. So I like this idea because I know that's like it's good for the two of them. And at the same time, I really like to help people, like kind of everyone at every, very low level. I love to help everyone. That's the thing that really, excites me. It's just that like it's not the way that I can make money, right?
But it is indirectly, and that's my point, because for me, I know I'm expensive for some people, but I don't want to not serve the people who are not able to afford me. I don't want to not serve those people, but I feel like I used to sell products for 197 and stuff like that. And it's like I'm actually doing them more a disservice by keeping them in that space than I am to just give that content away for free and elevate them so that they end up in a position where they can afford to work with me. And I just love that. Okay, Nancy, take care. Bye. You know what I mean? So I love that I'm able to give freely to those people who really need it. And the ones that are there are certain people amongst that group that will rise up because they are implementing the free stuff, which is stuff that I would have normally charged for maybe once upon a time. So it just works better for me. It feels good for me. It feels really good.
Okay, I see. Okay, good. So that's that's working in a small group, and there is so many things happening in my life right now, but it's like
Yeah, and that's what's great about this though, because it's only 4 weeks. It's really focused. It's not a huge amount of time. It's not, you don't need to spend hours and hours. Like in getting the sales page up and stuff, you might have a busy first week. And then it's really just mindset shift and learning and following the steps. Like, okay, I've got to go do this. Just go do it. It might only take you an hour. And then, so it's not a huge amount of time, but a lot happens in a really short amount of time. And you get results really quickly because we haven't got time to muck around. We want to make sure that you get a result. Hey, Em.
Yeah. Okay. So that's, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I was just trying to go through how you were working, like the weeks. How does it work exactly? But I can have a look on my own. I was just like on the page. So then like because right now I wouldn't have no idea how to say like, hello guys, by the way, so now I have this amazing program out. It's only $5,000. Please come and join me. It's like
that's it in a nutshell. Yeah, that's it. That's what happens. So you just have to, I guess, trust that I know how to do that. Like, that is the thing I do better than anybody else. Take somebody who's a coach.
It's not a system that you have that you show us, like that we have to follow, or is it?
It's loosely a system, but it's more about me coaching you.
Okay.
To get, there are definitely steps that I'll take you through and prompts that are going to help get you thinking right, but it's me coaching you through that process. That's why it's such a small group, because I had the ability to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So even, if you were in the Facebook group and you were stuck and you missed a call and you're like, or you're just, Michelle, I'm really stuck. I don't know how to do this particular thing. I'll just get you on a call in the group. I'll go live, get you on the call, and we'll just go backwards and forwards until we get it right. I'm committed to making sure everybody gets the exact program that they need.
Yeah.
Selling programs in the last week. That's why it's small. I don't imagine I'll ever make it bigger than 10 people because I'm committed to that result.
Okay. I see. No, that looks good. So you were saying that wherever option kind of we go, either if we go like on the pay but sorry, it's just a question of language here. When you say payment is every fortnight, what does it mean, fortnights?
2 weeks. Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't watched. I was like, Fortnite. Is it
Oh,
like?
I thought that was a universal term. Must be.
Yeah, no, sorry, that was me. Okay, good.
Okay, great.
Good.
Okay, well, I hope to see you on the course because I think you're the perfect fit. You really will be the perfect fit. So, anyway, thank you so much for being on the call. Nancy's had to go. Any more questions? Carla, do you have any questions? I don't know who's the Bulldogs because maybe just mute yourself again, Pascal. You have. Perfect. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. If you have any questions and you just feel a little bit icky about asking them on the call, feel free to message me. Michelle Hext Official is my Facebook page. If you're in my group, just tag me and let me know that you want to have a chat. Book a discovery call if you would like to. But just let me know, that you have questions or whatever, and we can have a chat. But I hope to see you on the program. And if you're watching the recording, the countdown clock is counting down, so get yourself moving, and I hope to see you on the call. Bye for now. And end meeting.